Hey, what's going on, guys? Left-handed shooter here for episode 2 of the Budget Hunter series. On this episode, or on this video, I'm going to be covering optics and kind of what you need to get into the outdoors and the hunting aspect of things on a budget. I'm going to go over what optics I have. Again, this is just what I personally wanted to go with based off of the budget that I had, but each individual person, I want you guys to, build your own budget, decide what's going to work best for you, so you guys aren't, cutting yourself short or, going above and beyond your budget for unnecessary reasons. But 3 things I'll be covering. I got my binos, I got a rangefinder, rifle optics. I'm going to be covering that on a separate episode when I do the budget build for the hunting rifle. But this one's going to be binos, rangefinder, tripod, mounts, accessories, things of that nature. And where I purchase my stuff, and I encourage everyone to go out and kind of shop around a little bit, see what you guys can find. But we'll go ahead and just roll right into things. The binos that I have are Vortex Optics Crossfires. Let me see. Oh, they're upside down, but Vortex Optics Crossfires 10 by 42. That's a 10 magnification by 42 millimeter objective lens. I got these on sale during the holidays between like Black Friday and New Year's. All the stuff that I purchased was roughly around that time, with the exception of the tripod and a couple of the other accessories. But I got these from opticsplanet.com. Shipped to me $132, which isn't a bad price for the quality optics that they are. On top of that, their warranty is if it's not lost or stolen, if you break them, if if they get dropped in your campfire and they burn up and you can't use them or whatever, contact them for their VIP warranty. You literally ship them what you have and they'll return you an equal item. Or, if they can't fix it, if it's just broken and they can fix it, they'll fix it and send it back to you. If not, they'll send you a replacement at no charge to you. You literally just have to provide them with something to turn in. But, again, the best time is coming up. Right now it is, September 10th, I believe, of 2018. And the holidays are right around the corner. Start doing your shopping if you want to get into hunting or into the outdoors. And you want to look at optics, right now would be the ideal time. Same thing for anything that I cover throughout the series. Holiday sales are usually going to be your best bet for things. But reason I went with 10 by 42 magnification for mine was I did some research. I live in the western part of the United States, and most common magnifications that I found for the terrain, for the area that I hunt in, was 10 by 42. You can get 10 by 42. 10 by 50, which means you're just going to have a 50 millimeter objective lens. Some people go as high as 12 magnification. Given the openness of the area, I don't really see 12 being necessary because it's just a little bit too far out there, a little bit too extra magnification, which doesn't seem like much, but a lot of the times I find myself, if I'm in a more dense environment, a lot of trees and shrubs and everything, when you have such a high magnification, it'll kind of impair what you're trying to see with just kind of blurred images of everything else between you and what you're trying to look at. I found 10 to be the ideal, the ideal magnification. But again, do research. What's the best magnification and size objective lens for your area, for your terrain, and for the animals that you intend to hunt. Like I said, these were 132 shipped to the door. It's MSRP. I got my laptop up here. That's why I keep looking over to this side. MSRP from Vortex Optics directly is $199.99. But if you click over to Optics Planet, they have their 10 by 42s right now for $150. Not sure if it has free shipping available or not. I literally have the page pulled up the product. That's what I'm looking at. That's the price I'm giving you. So, regardless, 150 is still not a bad price for the quality optics that you get. If your budget limits you a little bit more than that, then I recommend you looking at other brands. Cabela's has their own line of stuff. Bass Pro might have their own line of stuff. I'm not 100% sure, but I know for sure Cabela's has their own brand of rifle scopes and optics and everything. So you can go in there and find something a little bit cheaper than these. The other thing, the next piece that I have, actually, I'll stick to the binos real quick. If you guys look closely right here, there's threads on the inside, and that is specifically for, bear with me for 2 seconds, I should have had it off, but for the Vortex Optics Bino mount. So basically what I have here is this is a base that attaches to the tripod. It slides and locks in, and then what you do is you get your binos, you line it up on the threads, screw that little knob in that you see right here, it'll line up, and basically it'll hold your binos like that attached to a tripod, and it basically stabilizes them for you. If you're going to be glassing a hillside or whatever for a long while, it's, you know, highly recommended that you have a tripod, a stable platform, so you're not fatigued from just holding them to your face the entire time. I bought 2 of those bases because my wife does photography, so I bought one so she can attach it to her camera. So if we're ever out hiking or whatever and she wants to snap some pictures, she can put up the tripod, clip her camera in there with the mount, and go ahead and use it. So it's kind of a multi-purpose base and tripod that I got. But yeah, for the tripod mounts, I believe it was like 20 bucks. I think I got those at Sportsman's Warehouse. And for the bases, I think they're like $12. I bought 2 of the bases. So roughly not too expensive. One thing I did want to cover on the binos before I move on. So they come in a cool black case from Vortex Optics. Has a little handle on it, so you can either hang it over your shoulder, hang it around your neck, whatever you want to do. And then it's obviously lens covers on both sides. But one of the things that I decided to get a little bit out of my own accord is just because of the brightness, and you know, sometimes you got a little bit too much sun. I got with this little thing called a Bino Bandit. Let's see if it reads. Nope, I got it upside down again. Bino Bandit. I forgot what the brand is. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. But I paid 20 bucks for it on Amazon. You can get it cheaper in stores. I found a few stores, but you know, just kind of do the math. If it's cheaper in stores, but you got to pay taxes and everything in the store, it might end up being the same. If you have Amazon Prime like I do, pay a couple bucks extra and it'll show up in a couple days. If you need it immediately, go ahead and get it in stores. Pay whatever price they have. I'm not too sure, but yeah, basically when you're glassing or whatever, if you have too much light from the sun around you, what this does is it'll basically kind of make a seal around your face, and it blocks out all that extra light. So all you're doing is looking at what you're intending to look at without getting all that saturation from the extra light. Comes in handy if it's really bright out and you're trying to focus on one thing and you don't want to have all this ambient light around your eyes. Works pretty awesome for that. And like you guys saw, it comes with its own little strap so you can hang around your shoulder. Or not your shoulder, sorry, your neck. But the next piece of equipment I'll be rolling into is a rangefinder. This one is the Vortex Impact 850. Give me 1 second, let me pull it out. Tiny little guy, Vortex Impact. Show you guys the back. Zoom in, battery's going here. It's got the ranging features in there. If you want to measure, you click this on, it turns it on, and you click again to actually get a measurement. Then this is the menu button up front that lets you swap between modes and everything else. You can go from meters to yards. Let me go ahead and pull that one up on Vortex Optics website. Here we go. And I'm also going to pull it up on Optics Planet. Bear with me, guys. Sorry about that. I should have had more pages open, but I don't. All right. All right, Vortex Optics website has the Impact 850. listed for $269.99 MSRP, so about 70 bucks more than the Binos. Let's see what Optics Planet has it listed for. Optics Planet has it for $199 flat. Again, I don't know. Oh, this one says it's got 2-day free shipping with it. But yeah, so this one, tiny little thing, good for 850 yards, line of sight on flat terrain up to, I think it's like 15-degree angle, incline or decline. And if it's anything higher than those 15 degrees, it's limited to about 400 yards on a deer-sized object. Obviously, if you want to, range a tree or a rock just to kind of know the distance, you can go ahead and do that a little bit further out. But for an animal, anything above or below 15-degree incline or decline, it's going to be 400 yards, which for me works out because I don't really plan on taking any shots past 60 to 80 yards on bow and under 300 with a rifle for sure. But the HCD mode that it has is actually really cool on this thing. So if an object on an incline is line of sight 100 yards, when you range it with your rangefinder, it might come back and give you a reading of 92 yards, and that's basically telling you your holdover, whether you're on bow or on rifle. So instead of aiming at a solid 100 yards, and this is specifically more for bow, since the pins vary in distances based off whatever zeros you have or what you have your pin set at. So you may have one for 100 yards, but you might not have anything for 90. The next one might be 80 yards. So you have that gap in between. You're going to have to know your holdover a little bit more than on rifle, because 90 to 100 yards on a rifle, your point of aim is going to be pretty much almost the same. Let's go ahead and see. Let me see what that mode is called real quick for you guys. HCD is horizontal component distance. So basically, it compensates for the angle, whether it's incline or decline. Something might be line of sight, straight line, point A to point B, 40 yards. And you range it in HCD mode on your rangefinder, and it's going to tell you what your holdover is. So your holdover might be 26 yards instead of 40 yards or somewhere around that. I'm just throwing numbers out there. So that's going to be your holdover for your bow or for your rifle. So if let's take a longer distance. If you have a deer on a hillside that's a little bit above you at an incline, and he's at line of sight, he's 300 yards, and you range him in HCD mode, and it says it's going to be 285 yard holdover on your rifle. That's the distance you need to hold on your sights, or adjust to whatever if you're doing elevation changes on your zero. But if not, if you're going to do Kentucky windage and just do kind of holdover estimated distance, that X dash or X dot on your scope is 275. Hold it a little bit higher than that, and you're going to get a good point of impact. So yeah, I got these shipped to my door for $151. Again, from Optics Planet, same thing. Waited for the holidays. They had additional discounts and everything. And one thing I want to mention, for all military and law enforcement or veterans, Vortex Optics does a 40% discount off of their MSRP. Not their standard retail price for other vendors, but their MSRP, 40% off. So sometimes it's convenient to go through them directly. I don't think they have their system up and running directly. I think they go through, it used to be promotive.com. I think now it's called Experticity or something like that. And if you're a veteran, law enforcement, active duty, you go in there, create an account. You can, do their little quiz test or whatever, and you can register, and you can buy their products at 40% off. The only downside to that is it's based off availability, and you have to pay a $10 flat rate shipping. So if an item on a vendor's website that's discounted is, say, $150 shipped to your door, but Vortex, with the 40% discount, puts it at $130. Don't forget, you got to calculate tax, and you got to calculate that $10 flat rate shipping. So it'll end up being close to about the same. And going through Experticity, you might have to wait until it's available to ship, so you might not get it right away. So sometimes it's better just to go through one of the vendors that you have locally. But next piece I want to talk about, let me go ahead and get this piece off real quick, is my tripod. Tripod is Vortex Optics High Country. I got this one on Amazon, and I got this one for 80 bucks on Prime, so it showed up in 2 days. It's got a ball head swivel, so as soon as you unlock it, it kind of pretty much moves in any direction. Super awesome. I've taken it out a few times. When it comes to glassing, if you're scouting an area prior to season opening, or if season's already open and you're out there and you want to glass hillsides to find your animals, whatever you're hunting, this tripod's pretty phenomenal. I think it comes in, actually let me go ahead and pull it up on Vortex Optics website and pull up their actual weight for it. So they have kits in here. All right, High Country on sale on the Vortex page for 80 bucks. I paid 80 bucks. Amazon shipped in 2 days. Didn't have to pay taxes, or I think I paid a couple bucks taxes, but I didn't have to pay for the $10 flat rate shipping. It was just 80 bucks to my door. But let's see. Folds down to 15 inches. Overall height of up to, let's see, or sorry, folded height 21 inches. Folded width 3.8, so it's small profile. Overall weight 2.2 pounds. So one thing I do want to mention when you're selecting your gear, here it is folded down, completely collapsed, super compact. When you're selecting your gear, you want to make sure you select gear that's a reasonable weight, because you got to remember, if you're not doing tree stand, or if you're not doing, ground blind, or even if you are, you might have to hike out to that location. And the last thing you want to do is, you take an animal down, you field dress them, get them packed out, ready to go. But on the way in, you lugged over 50 pounds of equipment, and now you got about 150 pounds of meat that you got to pack back out. You're looking at 200 pounds when in reality all your gear compacted and only taking your essentials and what you need. You could have gotten it down below 30 pounds. It makes a big difference. So take that into consideration when you're buying your equipment. Check the weight. Like I have trekking poles that come in, I think like a little bit over a pound a piece, that I attach to my pack along with my tripod and everything else. So I'll cover the pack and all my accessories at a later date, but that's what I roll with. But yeah, 2.2 pounds, extends all the way out to 52.3 inches, collapses down to 21 inches when everything's folded down. And yeah, 80 bucks ship. So roughly, let's do the math real quick. I'm going to include the binos, the rangefinder, the tripod, little Bino bandit, which is the little light shield, 2 bases, and the mount. I think that ends up being, let's see, that's 150, 300, 380, 400, about 430, 440, give or take. Depends on what prices you can find. I know it seems like a lot of money, but I spread loaded this over the span of a few months. So, if I worked a little bit extra on one paycheck and I had, $40, $50 to spare, I put it aside. The next paycheck, same thing. When I got about $100, I'd go ahead and purchase it and then pay off the rest. And then next time I got another deal, same thing. So establish a budget, figure out what you can afford and what's reasonable. But more importantly, do research on where you're intending to hunt and what is going to be the best piece of equipment. And not necessarily piece of equipment, but I'll say best magnification, objective lens size. Again, consider weight for your packing, for your gear packing. Distances that you'll be taking shots at if you're going to be a long range hunter, anything past 500 yards. maybe this Vortex Impact 850 isn't for you. Maybe you should, look at their higher end model or look for a different rangefinder. But overall, build a budget, figure it out, do some research on what's going to be the best for your area, and shop around. I strongly encourage shopping around because, one website might have it for $10 cheaper, but this next one has it for free shipping at $10 more. Ends up balancing out and you don't have to pay for shipping, or with the free shipping it ends up being cheaper than the other location. So shop around, do your research, know what's common in your area. And it's not hard. I mean, I'm figuring this out on the fly on my own. I've been into this for about, I think next month it'll be about a year since I did my first small game hunt and got my licensing and all that. But I'm just kind of learning on the fly, and a simple Google search will pull up a lot of information. I spend a lot of time reading forums, reading reports, reading articles done by other hunters, looking at their equipment loadout, things of that nature. So I strongly encourage you guys to do that. And I'm trying to release one video a week. I had recorded this episode last week and I didn't like it. I think it ran on too long and I was trying to shorten it down. I think I was sitting close to half an hour on that video and it was just too excessive. But I'm going to try and do one video a week for you guys. I'll have this one hopefully uploaded by the end of the night. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, if you want to, ask me a question about something that you've already been researching and you just maybe want a little bit more insight, I'll give you my perspective. Again, everything that I'm saying is my personal opinion based off of my experiences. I'm not forcing anybody. This video is not sponsored by Vortex. I know I'm wearing a shirt. It doesn't really make it any better. But I'm not getting paid for any of this information. I'm just putting it out there based off of my experiences that I want to share with people that want to get into this sport. And I don't say sport like the hunting sport, like all you do is kill for trophies, but the sport of being outdoors and enjoying and going scouting, hunting, all of that, whether it's upland bird, waterfowl, small game, big game, everything else in between. But yeah, go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. I'm going to post links to the main pages that I've purchased items from, and maybe list a few other ones that sell the same products and might give you a better price. But again, shop around, do your research, figure out what budget works best for you, and good luck out there, guys. I hope you guys are, with your bow out there practicing, practice. I can't encourage that enough. Get your mechanics down, get your zeros down, get your practice in, get your shots in, try and do 20 to 30 every couple of days. Get out there, shoot some arrows, do whatever you got to do, but keep practicing and slowly work on your budget and get your optics out there so you can enjoy, hopefully, by the next spring season of animal and be out there hunting. All right, guys, take it easy. That's all I got for you, and stay tuned for the next episode.